Well, hey there, reader friends. I'm Erica, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing the No Disclaimers book tag. Woo! I'm nervous. Don't come at me, guys. The No Disclaimers book tag was created by Catalyst Reads, and as always, I'll leave a link to the original video down below. And I was tagged by Michaela over at my bookself. Thanks for the tag, Michaela. Except I kind of feel like, well, here we go. Number 1, which trope or tropes annoy you? It was hard for me to think of a trope that annoys me, because whenever I would think of one that annoys me, I'd be like, oh, but I like this book that has that trope, so I guess it doesn't annoy me that much. But one trope I can say that consistently annoys me and is frustrating and I really dislike is when you read a romance and the book excuses the male romantic lead's terrible, douchey behavior due to a traumatic past, and that the female character that is the romantic interest just kind of lets that go, that he was so crappy. There's something about that trope in particular that really frustrates me and just rubs me the wrong way. I just don't understand why you would, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Why, lady? Why, lady, would you stay with him? He's terrible to you. He's awful. He's a douche. And what makes you think he's gonna change just because now you know that his wife died in a car crash? Gee, I wonder what book we're talking about. Colleen Hoover. Number 2, which writer or writers do you feel are overrated or overhyped? This was hard for me because I couldn't think of any right off the bat. So I guess we'll just go off of number 1's answer and say Colleen Hoover. Number 3, what are your least favorite books you've read since joining BookTube? Continuing on the theme, Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe by Melissa de la Cruz, Like Water by Rebecca Potos, written and read by Anne Bishop, I think is her name, and Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. All of them. Number 4, a terrible ending that ruined an otherwise quality book. I'm gonna go with the middle grade book Star-Crossed by Barbara D. This is an amazing book. I mean, it's really wonderful in that it has a kind of 12-year-old girl who is discovering that she is not straight and going through her first romance and her first crush situation and a Romeo and Juliet B plotline that I love and amazing side characters, but the ending was just so not what I wanted. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as everything that came before, and that made me disappointed. Number 5, which fictional characters do you wish were not killed off? Spoiler alert for Harry Potter and Game of Thrones. I'm heartbroken still about Hedwig. I don't know why or what it says about me that the death in Harry Potter that hit me the hardest was Hedwig. But when it happened, I literally started crying. I couldn't handle it. I still can't handle it. When it happens in the movie, I literally go, ugh, in pain, because I can't handle that Hedwig is gone. She is the perfect pet, the perfect companion for Harry. She gets him. Why? Why would you kill someone's pet? No! Don't hurt our pets. Don't hurt our pets. And then in Game of Thrones, I'm really saddened to this day that Catelyn is gone because I really liked her. I mean, she got put into this marriage she didn't necessarily want and ended up having a great marriage, and she ended up having kids that she loved, and she's a really strong character, and now she's gone. And if you read the books, yes, the Grey Lady exists, but that's not Catelyn. That's not Catelyn Stark. It's not Catelyn. Number 6, what are your bookish pet peeves? Well, the first thing that comes to mind, and it's very strange, but I wish that all chapter books were required to have a table of contents. I just wish that that was a thing, because I am the type of person that when I open up a new book, I like to see how many chapters there are. I like to see how long the sections are. I like to kind of figure out how this book is laid out, and if every book that had chapters was required to have a table of contents, it would make my life a little easier, at least my reading life a little easier. I just want it. I just want it. And when I get it, it's just a nice little pleasant surprise. Why can't we continue this thing with books that are published today, guys? Where are the table of contents? Where are they? Another major bookish pet peeve I have is when there's a, like, female protagonist who likes to read, but the thing that she likes to read, that's her favorite book of all time, is Pride and Prejudice, or Romeo and Juliet, or anything by the Bronte sisters. It's a cliche. Number 7, what are some books you feel should have more recognition? I really wish that more people were talking about Patricia Briggs's books on BookTube, particularly the people that I follow that tend to read urban fantasy. I just haven't seen it discussed, and it makes me really bummed out because I love them so much, and I think that it's a different type of urban fantasy in that Mercy Thompson, like, a lot of urban fantasy is there's a female heroine and she goes and she's rescued or becomes part of the alpha male's, like, whatever he's part of, and they work together or he saves her, which isn't bad. I mean, that's urban fantasy, that's what that genre is. But in Patricia Briggs's books, especially the Mercy Thompson books, Mercy is not that type of female character. She is a character of agency, and she has a lot of power within herself to affect things, and it starts off with her already being settled. She's not a damsel in distress in the beginning, which is a whole different premise, I guess, for the whole series moving forward, in that it is completely about her and her story and the choices she makes, rather than her trying to escape something. Because at the point that it starts, at least at the point that the first book starts, she's settled into her life, and then the stuff that she ran away from comes back, but she's not under, like, direct threat when we start. I just love these books, and I want everyone to read them if you like urban fantasy, so I can talk about them with people, because I really enjoy them. Number 8, what are your thoughts on censorship and banning books? I guess I'll start by just saying, personally, why the heck? No, don't do that. If you don't want to read a book, that's fine. You have every right to say, this book is not for me and I don't want to read it. But that does not give you the right to then say nobody else should read it. That's not the way it should work. That's not the way books work. And particularly in the case of banning books with kids, that's not going to solve, if there's actually a book that you think is problematic and you ban it, it actually is going to increase, like, the problematic nature that the book maybe talks about. And what I mean by that is, if you ban a book and you say, nope, it's not going to be talked about in schools, it's not going to be available in the library, then kids might want to read it, or still will read it, and then there's no discussion that happens. So if you have a book that is problematic, like Twilight, and you ban it, and then girls read it anyways, there's no discussion that's going to happen about why that book might be problematic. Although I guess Twilight's a bad example, because the reason it got banned was because of premarital sex, which, what are you talking about? Did you even read the book? Clearly not. Clearly not. There's also a lot more that I could say about this in terms of my profession, because librarians follow ALA's guideline of ethics, which includes protecting intellectual freedom, which means that people should be allowed to read the books they want to read, and libraries should not infringe upon that right, and we should advocate for that right, which means we're gonna hold and have the books that you might not like, and that's just the way it goes. Basically, just let people read what they want to read, guys. And if you're a parent and you don't want your kid reading a book, then it's your job as a parent to monitor their reading. It's not the librarian's job. It's not the bookseller's job. That's your job, and you're right as a parent, but, like, banning the book for all kids is not the answer. Number 9, who do you tag? I feel like everybody that not everybody I know, but the people I normally tag have already been tagged. I don't know. I'm going to tag Katie at Reader Rut, and I am going to tag Samantha at Samantha Reading, and if you've already been tagged, well, now you've been tagged again. Woohoo! Also, if you just want to do this tag, if you're watching and you think this is really cool, this is really fun, I'd love to talk about these things, go ahead and do the tag and let me know down below so I can go watch it. Also, leave any comments if you have anything else to say or if you'd like to contribute to the discussion, but please don't come at me, guys, okay? I don't like to be controversial on BookTube. I don't want to be that type of booktuber. That's not my personality by nature, at least not online. But I got tagged and I was like, you know, I have things to say, so I did it. Now I'm nervous. Oh well. Don't hate on me, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like, and I'll see you next time. Bye! I'm getting so hot and bothered in this video, guys, and not the good kind of hot and bothered, like the I want to punch something, why are authors doing this to me hot and bothered. Oh gosh.